physical health, reduction in 1/3 of all causes of mortality if we're physically active. The population don't know this. You could reduce your risk of all causes of mortality by 1/3 if you're more active. Is there a more powerful health message for people to hear?
And why is that? I mean, it seems obvious as you say it out. Why is that not that message not getting out?
I think that's part of the opportunity of just having a different conversation. And there's some work being done with health agencies. Public Health Scotland are really engaged in this space, which is super. Partnering with a number of agencies, ourselves, Sport Scotland, and a number of other partners to say, right, how do we change some of the understanding that people have? What are the lessons we can learn from anti-smoking campaigns to say, that's helped people reduce the incidence of smoking? But I actually think this is also really fun. Like, this is a fun thing. And as I say, it's the miracle cure. Positive impact across 8 different kinds of cancer. Let alone, it's got great work in terms of reducing dementia, in terms of, as I say, people just living longer, healthier and happier lives. Falls. 2% of all falls result in a hip fracture. Hip fractures, particularly for older adults, can be particularly challenging. If we save that saves nearly £2 million a year in hospital bed days alone. That saves over £1 billion a year in hospital care costs. That's before we think about social care. But most fundamentally, the impact on somebody's life of not falling and being able to live that quality of life yourself and with your family for much longer. That's a conversation we need to be having. We know we're facing increasing challenges with an elderly population. Well, we need to be chatting with different partners to say, okay, we want to prevent issues with social care and we want people to have a higher quality of life. Being able to practice getting up and out of your chair, having that balance, having that stability, knowing that the likelihood of that you're going to fall is less. The empowering part of that for somebody's life, let alone healthcare, social care and cost, is something else. But we need to talk about the quality of people's lives first. So we know that if a number of years ago, Scotland had a national physical activity strategy called Let's Make Scotland More Active. Groundbreaking in its time, world-leading policy. And it said if we were all 1% more active, we would save 150 lives a year, 157 to be precise, lives a year. And it would save £85 million to the economy.
1% more active?
If we were all 1% more active. And
how would you quantify that? What's 1% as in?
Each person is that little bit more active.
Just go for a walk.
Fundamentally more for the people who are less active, because that's where the greatest benefits are. But I get asked about the £85 million to the economy and I'm sitting, that's great. But can we talk about the 157 lives a year that would be saved? Because that's the narrative that's more important in my view.